Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts, and guys, the newest episode of The Flash, Season 2, Episode 5, The Darkness and the Light, just finished airing on TV, and I'm basically here to kind of review / just talk about the episode. So spoilers for the newest episode, Season 2, Episode 5, The Darkness and the Light. If you have not seen the newest episode of The Flash, steer clear of this video now, go away now, I'm going to get into spoilers, okay? You gone? Okay, so let's get into it. So first things first I want to talk about in this episode is Dr. Harrison Wells from Earth 2 back at Star Labs with the team, and honestly it felt really weird. Like at first I'm like, okay, well I know this is not the Dr. Harrison Wells from Season 1 that was teaching Barry and all this kind of stuff, and he was secretly Reverse Flash, secretly Eobard Thawne and all this other kind of stuff, but it felt kind of weird because there was a lot of things that Earth 2 Dr. Harrison Wells was doing that really felt very similar to the Harrison Wells we all knew from Season 1. So it felt very weird, and obviously for the rest of the team and all that kind of stuff, they felt weirded out, especially Cisco, and even freaking Iris's dad. He comes running in and shoots his gun 3 times, and Barry obviously stops the bullets and all this kind of stuff. It's like, look, he's not the same Dr. Harrison Wells, blah, 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 blah. So it goes on from there, and there's even a part where they really go back to Season 1 of like where the fight between Flash and Dr. Light, where basically Wells comes in and starts telling him, this is what you need to do, you need to confuse her, you need to do this whole thing with the Mirage, you're like running really fast and leaving like, you know, extras of you around, like, you know, this Mirage, you know, where you're seeing multiple flashes, and that's what she was seeing, and Wells was telling Flash how to do this, and and honestly, if you've seen Season 1 and you love that season, it takes you right back to that, because that's exactly what Wells did in Season 1, teaching Barry all these different things, and that's what he was doing again, so it was very, very cool. The second thing I really noticed about this episode that really made it very dramatic and intense was that Jay Garrick finally comes back on the show, and obviously he is not happy with Dr. Harrison Wells. Actually, this episode starts off on Earth 2, where you actually get to see Harrison Wells in his own Earth, at the Star Labs, and where Jay Garrick shows up and says, you were the reason why this happened, you were the reason why we're all metahumans and everybody's like this and all this kind of stuff. So on Earth 2, Dr. Harrison Wells is also the reason why the Flash was created and why all these metahumans are around, because this Dr. Harrison Wells from Earth 2 did the same thing that Earth 1 did. So that's kind of cool how that's similar in that aspect. But so we got to see the dynamic between Jay telling Barry, don't listen to Dr. Harrison Wells, and Harrison Wells saying, you can stop Zoom, Barry, you know, freaking Jay Garrick, you know, he can't stop him. And then they get into a fist fight. Jay Garrick, Dr. Harrison Wells, WWE, they get into a fist fight, and then obviously Barry breaks it up. But that was a very big positive, is seeing them duke it out, because it finally built up to it. They were slowly building that tension, because Jay Garrick shows up right at the beginning of the episode, mad at Harrison Wells, and it builds up to a small fight, which was pretty intense. So there's that. The third thing I do want to talk about, of course, is the villain of the week, but technically a big twist that I did not see coming, was the fact that Dr. Light is a metahuman on Earth 2, but her Earth 1 counterpart is a non-metahuman. So this is the first time we've officially seen this on screen. Now we know Daniel Panabaker, who plays Caitlin on The Flash, her alter ego, whether it's Earth 2 or another Earth, is Killer Frost. So in this, Dr. Light is actually, I forget the girl's name, you see the picture here, the girl's name, but she was actually Barry's girlfriend at one point on Season 1, and she actually interacts with her Earth 1 counterpart, and I think it was Linda Park, it's something like that, but that reveal of like, it's her counterpart from Earth 2 and she's Dr. Light, it threw Barry for a loop, and then seeing her try to kill her alternate self from the Earth 1 was very, very interesting. Obviously, she didn't do that. Obviously, she failed at that, but she was trying to leave, and ultimately that didn't happen. So that was pretty cool. And as I was on Twitter, I noticed this is from people saying this is a part 1 of a part 2 kind of episode where the story, the main central story, is going to be in 2 parts. So what we just saw was part 1, so part 2 is apparently going to be leading up to Zoom, because we got to see a little bit of Zoom at the end of this episode, holding on to Dr. Harrison Wells' daughter from Earth 2. So there's some tension there, because obviously Dr. Harrison Wells is on Earth 1 trying to help Barry and all that kind of stuff, and he left his daughter back on Earth 2 to where Zoom could capture her, and that's what happened. So there you have it. To any negatives, there wasn't really a negative on this episode. I mean, it really just, it was very intense, a very intense episode. I really felt that there was a lot going on, and obviously that if this was just a single episode, we're going to go to the next villain of the week and all that kind of stuff, the next episode, I would be okay with it. But the fact that they're building up to something pretty big in part 2, I'm hoping that, hey, it's worthwhile. There was a lot of build up, a lot of great moments, and this episode I think was definitely worth watching. Oh, wait a minute, I just forgot one of the biggest things. Barry went on a date. Barry went on a date. Hey, and at first it was awkward, and I'm like, okay, I really had to push myself to watch it, because when he was blind from Dr. Light's basically explosion or whatever in the bank, I really felt uncomfortable, because Cisco was technically third wheeling and all this kind of stuff. But ultimately, he got that kiss. I'm thinking like, oh, Barry got that kiss, but he still wishes it was Iris. That's what I tweeted. It's like, Barry got that kiss, hashtag, but he still wishes it was Iris. We all know for a fact Barry still loves Iris, but, you know. And then obviously his vision comes back after the kiss, whoop-de-da, and then we continue the story. So overall, this was a really good episode, a lot of build-up, a lot of hype. Obviously, my positive, Dr. Harrison Wells from Earth 2. A lot of interesting dynamics there. Obviously, Jay Garrick coming back. Dr. Light was pretty cool. The reveal there, who she actually was, her counterpart. Very, very cool. And a lot of build up to hopefully Zoom having a lot of screen time this next episode. That's what they've been kind of teasing at. So we'll see what happens. So anyways, guys, what do you guys think of this newest episode of The Flash Season 2, Episode 5, The Darkness and the Light? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. Thank you guys for watching my reaction, my review. Excuse me, I'm used to doing reactions, not just reviews. So, blah. So thank you guys for watching my review. Peace out.